I want to pose this question only because over the past month or so, we have seen so many appearances by Meghan Markle. Seemed like she really was laying low for a while there, but now she is officially back. For example, we saw her wearing that shimmery gold dress to get a Women of Vision award in New York City. We saw her wearing a mini dress on a night out with Harry, looking very stylish while she was out hiking, wearing way too much expensive jewelry, and also winning a Digital Media Award at the Gracies. And not a moment too soon, because the Sussex brand is floundering. It needs not only a relaunching, but really a resuscitation altogether. In the US, commentators and polls have been saying for quite a while now, for at least months, that even American citizens, in spite of their love of soap operas and instinctive sympathy for a supposedly wrong compatriot, were getting sick and tired of Harry and Meghan's whining. Many people found their relentless complaining about their supposed mistreatment off-putting and completely exhausting too. In January, Newsweek did a poll, and this poll revealed that in little more than a month, Prince Harry's popularity had plummeted 65 points in US public opinion, and Meghan sunk by 46 points. They did this poll right after the publication of Spare and a month after the release of their Netflix docu-series. Now, Meghan kept a pretty low profile while Harry was promoting his book, but if she thought this was going to keep her safe from the backlash, well, she was obviously wrong. In the middle of February, only about 16% of people polled for Newsweek said that they actually liked Meghan, compared to 74% of people who said they did not like her. Ouch, I'm sure those numbers were pretty painful to see. So the two award ceremonies especially were a way for Meghan to try to recalibrate. While accepting an award for her advocacy work, Meghan said, "You can charter a path in which what you repeat in your daily acts of service and kindness and advocacy and grace and in fairness, that those become the very things that are recognized by the next wave of women." But even this was not the success that she thought it would be. Many American commentators believed that it was very ironic that Meghan was accepting an award for kindness, when she has spent the better part of the past 3 years trashing the royal family, and that's even before we get to their British counterparts. And then there was Meghan and Harry's very emotional statement about that near catastrophic car chase when they were being supposedly followed by paparazzi in New York City. And that's a story that didn't fit with the police statement that came out later on. No doubt, for Harry, being chased by paparazzi does bring back memories of trauma of the highest order, the death of his beloved mother. But there is another way that he could get the life that he so desperately wants. He could just stay out of the spotlight. It would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, Harry is just eaten up with jealousy. See, Meghan just removed the mask the palace had helped him to affix to his face for such a long time. The truth is, Harry has never changed. He just learned how to hide these negative aspects of himself. But now, with Meghan Markle beside him supporting him, he feels like he can do whatever he's wanted to do for quite a while now. I think he has despised his older brother since he was a young boy. William looks better than he does. He's a lot more intelligent. Catherine is a lot more beautiful and classy than Meghan is, and their children are simply gorgeous and so smart. William also controls the funds in the Duchy of Cornwall, even though apparently Harry begged Charles to split it equally between them. Above all, William one day will be king, and Catherine is going to make an amazing queen. Prince George will be a king someday too. Princess Charlotte will be the next Princess Royal, and Prince Louis will probably be the next Duke of Edinburgh. But poor Harry is just the Duke of Sussex, and that's probably all he's ever going to be. He feels like he should be on equal footing in every single way with his older brother. And thanks to the mothering style of Diana, which sometimes was less than ideal, she didn't prepare him for a life that would be different from his brother. Just like the Queen advised her to do very early on, actually, she refused to listen. She thought that she knew more than the Queen. It does sound like Meghan in some ways. Now, I don't like Meghan Markle at all, you know that, but we can't really blame her for all this mess. She was basically the catalyst. This is the real Harry. This is who he has been the whole time. This is the Harry that the palace cannot cover up for or make excuses for, and that is his biggest problem right now. Harry's biggest problem is that he got away with all his nonsense for so many years. If somebody, mainly King Charles, had handled him as should have been done while he was a teenager, then I don't think he would be acting like this today. Now, sure, Harry is pretty dumb, but he gave Meghan most of the ammo that she has been using. Harry has been a jealous little twit his entire life, and I hate to say it, but Diana does deserve to be blamed for some of it. Instead of preparing him for a life that would be different from William's and encouraging him to plan for some other options and opportunities, she just encouraged and rewarded his bad behavior. Thank goodness the late Queen started teaching Prince William very young. Now, Harry had many paths that he could have chosen. He decided to go down the path filled with alcohol and drug use, instead of actually working hard for something to better himself. Harry figured out at a young age that he could easily live off of his mother's death and get all the attention and sympathy for himself that he thought he needed and deserved. He and his mother are actually very similar in that way. Since the day he was born, I think there's always been something a little bit wrong with Harry. Now, Meghan Markle has understood how to use his low IQ and his self-pity and his delusional paranoia against him. She was in it for the money and the fame. And when she figures she's gotten all she can get from him, she's going to throw him away and move on to the next victim. I do not like her for everything that she has done to disrespect the late Queen and the rest of the family. I loathe Harry, and I actually felt that way about him a long time before Meghan entered the scene. Charles might let Harry come back to the family, but I don't believe that William is going to allow him to return to the firm, and he'll never be able to trust him again after all this. People are never going to be able to forget what he has done. Nobody can forgive everything that he's done to Prince Philip as he lay dying in the hospital. And how could we forget the way that he disrespected his own grandmother, the late Queen, who gave him everything that he enjoyed in life? He made her last year on Earth pure hell, and he deserves the same. So basically, Harry's future looks a lot like disgraced Prince Andrew's. He'll stay in the background, but he'll never be relevant again. Now Harry understands that his life is blowing up and he's just playing the victim of Meghan. So maybe he'll come back to the UK with his tail between his legs, but who can really trust them? Maybe he'll just be back to get the information to feed to Meghan to keep their lifestyle up. It could all just be a ploy. Once he's in the UK, once he's inside, like some kind of Trojan horse, he can give Meghan all the info that she wants. It is a thought that has crossed my mind. They cannot be trusted. So what is to stop Harry from going back to Meghan after a little bit, when he has enough information that he can give her? All of this nonsense should have been stopped a long time ago. When the Montecito circus finally comes to an end, and it will, there are going to be pieces scattered all around the world, and nobody's going to be able to fix this. Harry makes a complete fool out of the monarchy whenever he steps out with Meghan Markle. And one more thing. Where exactly is the threshold of weakness when a person is both king and the parent of this idiotic, immature, ungrateful brat? What can the king do? I mean, does he support his son because his son is in danger thanks to this predatory woman? Or is he supposed to just always think of the monarchy? Now, the late Queen did not come out and say anything about the invisible children if they came from surrogates or whatever. And how could we forget the existing laws protecting the confidentiality of medical information? The royal family really got Markle, didn't they? It seems like Charles does live up to his role as monarch for the time being, and the reputation of Meghan and Harry is absolutely in tatters. I think we just need to have some patience. Let's leave all of this to time so that the scandals are going to break out without necessarily having to involve the royal family in this whole mess. And you, what do you think about them? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments.